feel like we've all heard a story of a mysterious person standing on the side of a road. I feel like it's a tale that's as old as time. I mean, what's spookier than driving on a road at night and seeing some kind of mysterious stranger? This story comes from a young mother who experienced something that she could not explain on a dark country road in the middle of the night. I'm your host, Regina Helton. This is History and Mysteries. One night, a young mother was driving home after a late night shift at work. She was on the way to her babysitter's house to pick up her young children so she could take them home and they could all get a few hours of sleep. This was a nightly drive for the mother. She had to drive down a country road, past a cemetery, to the babysitter's home. The road always gave her goosebumps, but nothing had ever happened to make her fear the road. Maybe it was just the curvy road or the cemetery on the hill. Cemeteries are creepy. Even though she didn't have a reason to fear the road, she always turned her head as she drove past the cemetery, fearful as to not make contact with the tombstones. Just no glances in that direction. She picked the children up, and as she was driving down the dark country road, she went up the small hill, and the cemetery was on the right side of the road at the top of the hill. As she drove over the hill, her eyes were fixed on the road in front of her, the children sleeping in the back seat. She reached the top of the small hill, once again, making sure not to look into the cemetery at night. Her eyes were focused straight ahead. As she reached the top of the hill, her eyes slightly drifted to the left, in the opposite direction of the cemetery. Where it seemed safe from anything that might be scary. And her headlights suddenly shone brightly into the face of a woman. The woman wore what appeared to be outdated clothing, but not clothing you'd picture from a typical ghost story. No Victorian dresses, just clothing that didn't fit the year. She was faceless. She had what appeared to be long, blonde hair. In a split second, the young mother had driven by and the figure was gone. The experience happened so quickly, she couldn't figure out what had happened. She just knew she had seen a figure where a figure shouldn't have been. Who would be standing on the side of a dark country road in the middle of the night? She was too afraid to look back in the rearview mirror. The moment had passed just as quickly as it had happened. The part that stands out in her mind is the vagueness of the figure. The woman's face had no features, nothing which could be identified. Just a blur. Her clothing was also unidentifiable. The only thing that stood out was perhaps a denim jacket. The figure's long blonde hair was the only thing that felt vivid about her appearance. Who had the young mother seen? Was it tired eyes on a dark road, shadows in the night, or a ghost standing on the side of the road? The young mother has no answers, and only a memory of the night she saw the mysterious woman on the road.